Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that money has disappeared. No pounds, no coins, no bank cards, no online banking. You walk into a shop, pick up some food, and reach into your pocket. Nothing. So, what would you trade? A chicken? A bag of grain? Maybe your shoes? This sounds ridiculous today, but for most of human history, people had to solve exactly this problem. And the surprising part is that money probably wasn't invented by one person at all. Before coins and banknotes, humans could exchange goods directly. A farmer could give grain to someone who had tools. A fisherman could exchange fish for something he needed. But there was a problem. Imagine you have chickens and want a pair of shoes. You find a shoemaker. Great. Except he doesn't want chickens. You have something valuable, but it isn't necessarily valuable to him. This is one of the problems with barter, and as human societies became larger, trading became more complicated, so people began using things that other people were willing to accept, and these could be surprisingly strange: shells, beads, salt, grain, livestock, even pieces of metal. The important thing wasn't necessarily that these objects were useful, it was that other people believed they were valuable, and that's when something much bigger began to happen. Thousands of years ago in Mesopotamia, societies were already using standardized units of value. The word shekel, for example, originally referred to a unit of weight. So money didn't necessarily begin as a shiny coin. It began as a way of measuring and recording value. And this is where the story gets really interesting, because humans eventually discovered that metal was incredibly convenient. It could be stored, it could be transported, it could be divided. And unlike grain or livestock, it didn't rot or run away. Silver became especially important in ancient economies, but there was still a problem. If every transaction involved weighing metal, trading could become slow and complicated. Then, around the 7th century BCE, something appeared in Lydia, in what is now Western Turkey. Coins. Early Lydian coins were made from electrum, a naturally occurring mixture of gold and silver, and were produced to standardized weights. And that little piece of metal changed everything. Instead of constantly weighing silver or gold, people could recognize an official piece of money. The stamp basically said, "This has been checked, you can trust it." Money had become portable trust. But humans weren't finished. Metal was heavy. Imagine trying to carry the equivalent of thousands of pounds in coins. So eventually, another revolution appeared: paper money. China developed early forms of paper currency, eventually creating systems where paper represented monetary value rather than the physical weight of metal. And suddenly, something incredibly strange was happening. A piece of paper could buy food, it could buy clothes, it could buy a house, but the paper itself wasn't worth that much. So why did it work? Because everyone agreed it worked. And that brings us to the strangest thing about money. Modern money doesn't need to be made from gold. It doesn't need to be useful. It doesn't even need to physically exist. Most of the money we use today is simply numbers recorded digitally. You can send £100 to someone without moving a single physical object. So when you really think about it, money isn't the coins, it isn't the paper, it isn't the numbers on your phone. Money is trust. Thousands of years ago, humans agreed that certain objects could represent value. Today, billions of people participate in the same idea digitally. So money wasn't really invented. It evolved from things people valued to things people agreed had value, to something that exists almost entirely because we all believe it does.